Before I begin to talk about my internship, here's a short clip about my best experiences in Barbados.
Am I out of touch? Am I out of my place? When I keep saying that I'm looking for an empty space. Oh, I'm wishing you're here, but I'm wishing you're gone. I can't have you and I'm only gonna do you wrong. Oh, I'm gonna mess this up. Oh, this is just my luck. Over and over and over again. Time to let it go at the roadside. We used to know we could let this drift away. Oh, we let this drift away. There's always time to change your mind. There's always time to change your mind. There's always time to change your mind. Oh, can you hear me? I'm sorry for everything, no, everything I've done. From the second that I was born, I think I had a loaded gun. And I shot a hole through everything I love. Oh, I shot a hole through every single thing that I love. Am I out of luck? Am I waiting to break? And I keep saying that I'm looking for a way to escape. Oh, I'm wishing I had what I'll take it for granted. I can't have you and I'm only gonna do you wrong. Oh, I'm gonna mess this up. Oh, this is just my luck. Over and over and over again. Time to let it go at the roadside. We used to know we could let this drift away. Oh, we let this drift away. And there's always time to change your mind. And there's always time to change your mind. And there's always time to change your mind. Oh, can you hear me? I'm sorry for everything, no, everything I've done. From the second that I was born, I think I had a loaded gun. And I shot a hole through everything I love. Oh, I shot a hole through every single thing that I love.
Welcome to Sandals Barbados, where love is all you need. Sandals Barbados is a luxury included all-inclusive vacation resort for couples only. Sandals Barbados has 11 different restaurants, out of which 9 are a la carte. We have a program called Discovery Dining where each restaurant serves a different cuisine so you can experience different cuisines all around the world in just one resort. Sandals Barbados also has 7 different bars. My program at Sandals Barbados was the food and beverage management, which meant working at each and every restaurant and each and every bar. My first objective was learning about basic bar operations. I achieved this goal by first working with a bartender in a bar and learning how the bars operated. Soon I was left alone at times to bartend alone, and then I proved myself to the manager that I wanted to learn even more. I finally got the opportunity to shadow the bar's manager. While shadowing the manager, I learned how to calculate the daily budget, how to use the software to order stock, employee motivation methods, how to make a shift lineup chart, and for a test to see what I had learned with the manager, I was told to be the manager for a day as she shadowed me around the resort to evaluate me and correct me. During my test, I had to run around the whole resort making sure all 7 bars were operating correctly, no guest complaints, check the cleanliness of the bars, and assign dinner breaks to the bartenders so no bar was left unattended. After that, I had to go check again at each and every bar for empty bottles and anything that needed restocking and make a list for what stock to order for the next day. Finally, I had to calculate the budget for the order by getting a list of the number of in-house guests and doing the calculations. Why was this so challenging? Because most of the time budget allocated for the bar was not enough and therefore I had to order bottles using my knowledge from working at each bars. As different bars have different demands of alcohols, I would have to sacrifice not ordering a certain alcohol with low demand in that bar and order the high demand alcohols. This made me understand why it was important to start as a bartender and move up to working with the manager, and I learned the practice of opportunity cost concept, which is also known as getting the best alternative with the limited resources that are available, which is also a good practice I'm glad I have learned. As for the personal evaluation, I think I went way above and beyond in learning the basics of bar operations. Not only was I left alone at the bar from time to time and efficiently handled each and every guest to ensure their satisfaction, I made kick-ass cocktails and got mentioned on TripAdvisor often for my personality and being a great bartender. I sacrificed my personal time and at times used to work 12 to 14 hour shifts voluntarily so I could learn more. When working with the manager, this meant working till 2 a.m. and it paid off because, according to my final evaluation, I was outstanding while I worked as a bartender and when I worked as with the manager. My other objective was improving guest relation skills whilst working in the restaurant. However, I found this goal difficult to achieve in the restaurant, but managed to achieve this while working as a bartender. How I know I achieved this objective was before I even went to the Caribbean. I don't think I would easily just approach someone and start off a conversation. But as I worked in the restaurants, I got the feel and got comfortable conversing with guests. Since it was peak season when I started working, we were too busy to interact with guests properly and concentrated more on service. However, this was good for me as I could slowly gain my confidence and comfort and working in an environment full of guests. After watching my workmates do a fantastic job making the guests smile after their conversations, I managed to pick up a few tricks up my sleeve as well. As soon as the occupancy levels dropped down, we were less busy and I finally got the opportunity to have long conversations and interact with guests. But by this time it was time for me to move to bartending. Being a bartender meant that guests would sit by the bar and either complain to you, which was a good thing as I learned how to talk to guests to deal with complaints. Or, or otherwise, the guests would sit at the bar and converse with you to learn more about the islands and learn more about myself as an intern in Barbados who's from Kenya and studying in Switzerland. Through all these experiences, I finally have the confidence to converse and leave a guest smiling or laughing at times now. My next objective was learning the service methods and coordination for banquets and events. Firstly, as an intern, I could not choose where I wanted to work easily, even though Sandals hosted events on a daily basis. Therefore, I was mostly in the restaurants and couldn't work in events. However, again, I managed to get my way around and work for an event on my day off. And finally, my supervisor saw I worked hard for the event and asked me to work for events every now and then. Through this I learned how to set up for an event and the actual importance of a good mise en place. Working for events and working in a restaurant is completely different. There are always minor hiccups following you around during the events, and I learned how to find the next best alternative and in the quickest way possible without the guests even finding out in solving these issues. Towards the end of my 3 months in the F&B, in not F&B but restaurants, but I was asked to be the supervisor and manage an event. That meant I had to make sure everything was set up to perfection before the banquet started and during the service make sure plates were cleared, everyone had a drink, and deal with any other issues regarding the service. Giving me the responsibility to supervise an event showed me I had progressed and my supervisor had trust in me. Towards the end of the event I had supervised, I was hugged and praised by some of the guests because of my warm welcome and personalized service I gave in. Yet again, with this objective, I didn't only just learn the service methods of a banquet or event, but I even got the opportunity to manage an event, which tells me I mastered these methods. The last objective was learning how to speak Bayesian, which I found out was another form of Caribbean English once I reached Barbados. I would have improved this objective to learning how to adapt and work with people of a new culture. This would mean learning how to speak like them, which I did. And also, Barbadians are also warm and friendly in nature. They greet everyone with a nice smile, and it's something I picked up to do. Actions like even being more polite, friendly, and welcoming are key traits to have when working in this industry, and I'm glad I've improved on them. The progress of this could be seen by me from receiving very few compliments in the start of my internship because I was really shy to being complimented and tipped on a daily basis. The people of Barbados brought out my shyness and now I can finally converse with anyone and I'm glad to have worked with such people. Even though I managed to achieve all my objectives, I don't think they were very challenging for me. For my next internship, I would give myself a little bit more challenging objectives as I learned in this internship since I loved what I did I always went above and beyond. And having a challenging internship could mean I'd even learn more. I figured out since the objectives give me a little bit more motivation to work harder, having an objective which would help me defeat a weakness of mine would be beneficial. For example, I managed to get myself the courage to speak more often with guests, and this means I have conquered one of my biggest weaknesses of being shy. I I feel not being able to achieve my objective is no problem as long as I know that I tried my best to work to and worked hard towards achieving it. Therefore, having a challenging objective will definitely make me strive to learn more and get even more responsibility.